As fate would have it, the Sufals, once thought extinct, were not entirely wiped out by the Saiyans. Now, the parasitic organism calling itself Baby has come to Earth to wreak revenge on the surviving Saiyans. Baby ruthlessly carried out the Sufals' plans, and one by one, Goku watched helplessly as his friends were absorbed. Unable to overcome the monster's immense power, Goku had all but given up hope, until his granddaughter Pan's tears brought about a miracle. While Goku was away training with the Elder Kai, the evil Baby set his sights on Pan. Sensing Pan's distress, Oob, stronger than ever, rushed to help her.
You're fighting me now!
Good, I was starting to get bored, so now I'll destroy you instead!
I'm going to avenge Goku!
Come on, Tenkaichi 2, haven't I paid my dues to Dragon Ball GT? Did you not see my Ultimate Tenkaichi Let's Play? Anyway, I realize this isn't Toriyama's fault by any means, but do you think maybe Dragon Ball has had enough characters who can absorb people yet? Oh yeah, I almost forgot to mention, we completely skipped over Oob's origin because of the game's structure. His origin just wasn't important enough because there weren't enough fights in it. The short version is that Oob is the reincarnation of Kid Buu because Goku wished that Buu would come back as someone good, and somehow his wish was granted. It's not clear how exactly, but I guess that could just kinda happen for no reason. Goku fights him in the 28th World Martial Arts Tournament, and that's when he realizes he's a reincarnation of Kid Buu and is kinda like, oh, that's neat. That's neat, I guess. And then Oob later appears in Dragon Ball GT, as you're seeing right here, but this is a non-canon appearance. If I sound a little disinterested, it's because this game only has like 5 fights for the Baby Saga. Like, even what is the point? I think the Super 17 Saga may actually be relatively longer in this video game, and that's kind of depressing. Also, Baby wasn't really attacking Pan himself, but that's one of the least important problems this game has portraying the GT stories.
Despite his great power, Oob was no match for the evil Baby.
Is this the best Goku had to teach you? I've swatted flies stronger than you! Say goodbye, little fly! Ugh.
Then, as all hope for Oob seemed lost, Majin Buu suddenly came to the rescue.
We're going to miss Hercule, but for some reason, me wants to help you.
Thank you, Boo. Now I can defeat Baby.
Now this is the power I'd expect from someone trained by Goku! This could be fun!
For the most part, I wasn't actually all that bothered by GT and any of its sagas, but there are a few things about each saga that bother me, and one of them in this one is Majoob. Like, yeah, I get that Majin Buu fusing with Oob is supposed to be, like, really deep and interesting because they're both Buu and now they're together again. But I feel like Buu earned his happy ending. Or maybe I'm just upset because Buu was Hercule's friend, and you can't just take Hercule's friend away like that. That's just cruel. So anyway, Majoob seems to get the upper hand until, shockingly, he eventually doesn't have the upper hand anymore. He fires a beam at Baby, meant to turn Baby into chocolate, but Baby easily reflects the beam and instead eats Majoob. Also, I suppose I should mention, I guess Baby doesn't technically absorb people so much as possess them and absorb their energy when he feels like it. Anyway, it's time for me to point out minor discrepancies between the game and anime, which is a thing I do a lot. When Majin Buu showed up to save Oob, he didn't show up while Baby was still there watching. You see, Oob was actually saved in spite of Baby thinking he was actually killed. So when Majoob shows up later to confront Baby, it's a surprise, instead of something Baby witnessed right in front of him. So if you're wondering what exactly a Sufal is and what exactly Baby is, well, A Sufal was a race that used to inhabit planet Vegeta, until the Saiyans completely destroyed the Sufals and fucked everything up to take the planet for themselves. There was a war first, and the Sufals actually put up a pretty good fight with all their technology until the Saiyans turned into giant apes. And that was kind of the end of that. But Baby is a Sufal creation made specifically to destroy the Saiyans, and he's just been kind of floating through space this whole time, thinking about how much he hates the Saiyans and how he's gonna bring back the Sufal race. After he's done killing all the Saiyans, though, that has to come first. He seems to retain a lot of the mindset from his deceased race, but he also kind of acts barbaric in spite of him accusing the Saiyans of all being barbaric. And I'm not sure if this is intentional or just a lack of creativity on the part of the writers.
I'm not so sweet that you can change me into chocolate. But he was really sweet.
You disappeared, huh?
You've gotten bulkier since last time.
Yeah, I had to pull out all the stops to beat you.
A tougher enemy and a nauseating Saiyan. I'd never allow something like you to stop my plans.
Your reign is over, baby.
Enough! I won't allow a single Saiyan to live!
So we missed a couple of things that might have made the saga more interesting and made the gameplay a bit more extensive, but I guess they weren't really interested in that. The reason Goku is a Super Saiyan 4 now is because he turned into a golden ape, one of the giant ones, except golden now, because of some weird comic book science stuff, don't worry about it. Anyway, when Goku was turned into a golden ape, he fucked up Baby a bit, but he was mostly just rampaging all over the place. And it took Pan's crying to bring him back to reason, and that's how he transformed into a Super Saiyan 4. If you feel like you're missing something from that description, you may be, and you may not be. It really depends on what you're willing to accept as an explanation. As far as I can tell, Super Saiyan 4 comes about when you gain conscious control of the Great Ape form. It also makes you smaller for some reason, but I guess it's implied that you maintain the same power you had in that form. You're just a bit more slim. Perhaps the most depressing thing about the Super Saiyan 4 transformation is not that it was a bad idea, but the way the transformation was presented itself because of the way the episode framed it. The transformation started at the cliffhanger of an episode, and it ended as the next episode started, making sure that even though it did make for an interesting cliffhanger, the actual transformation itself was underwhelming. And the narrator seriously talks over like half of the transformation. And yeah, I mean, the end result looks nice, but fuck me if they didn't completely fuck the presentation up just to get some extra views.
Darn, is this the end?
Goodbye, baby. Ka-me-ha-me!
Wait, Bulma! Ah!
What?
Don't think just because I've absorbed Vegeta and transformed into this hideous creature, I don't have my wits about me!
Now you tell me, So this whole time you were just pretending to be a big dumb ape, huh?
I thought it might be fun, but I wonder what sort of power this ape body really has.
Guess we'll find out together!
So due to some more weird comic book science stuff, the Vegeta part of Baby was transformed into a golden ape. Keep in mind, the Vegeta part of Baby is the golden ape, not Baby. The dialogue just prior to this battle was meant to convey that even though Vegeta is the one in the golden ape form, Baby is still in control because he possessed Vegeta. This is actually a pretty reasonable explanation, and for some reason the Funimation dub replaced it with dialogue explaining why Baby's mouth doesn't move when he speaks now. Gotta keep your priorities in check. If the other dialogue before this fight about Baby just dicking around and pretending to be stupid seemed a little weird, well, that actually happened in the show. I'm sure you could theorize as to why he did this, but I'm just gonna go with he was completely dicking around because he was dicking around. He's eventually forced to admit to Goku that he's in full control of his senses when he blindsides Goku with an energy blast, and then the two get into real fighting. And then it turns out they're pretty evenly matched, which you might expect considering how they both got to these powers. So, there's a bunch of stuff that happens that isn't really important during the fight, like a city getting blown up or two. And then they both knock each other out by punching each other really hard.
Darn it! I'll never beat him at this rate.
This is it! Take this, Saiyan! Yeah! What is that?
Though it seemed Baby was finally defeated, it was a short-lived victory, as his power quickly regenerated. But with help from his friends, Goku was able to achieve the ultimate Super Saiyan 4 transformation. Powered up to the max, Goku and Baby confronted each other for the final battle.
Well, is this what you wanted to see? There's no holding back now. It's time to settle this once and for all.
This time, I really will kill you!
That's funny. As big as you are, I thought you'd be tough.
Shut up!
It says Baby's power regenerated, but that didn't just happen on its own. It happened through more comic book science, and that's all I'm gonna say about it. You really don't need to know anymore. It's perfectly fine. If I did explain it, you just go, yep, that sounds like comic book science. So fun fact, this fight took me the better part of an hour to fucking complete. I recall the problem being that when I knocked Baby away, he just recovered way too quickly for me to get my bearings. So you might be a tiny bit confused about what the narrator was talking about with the Ultimate Super Saiyan 4 transformation, considering Goku was already in Super Saiyan 4 form. And that was supposed to convey that the Super Saiyan 4 form was now at full power because Goku's friends gave him their energy. There's also something about Baby being distracted because Maju was actually alive inside of him, and he attacked him from the inside. It's anyone's guess why he didn't do this earlier. But that's how he was distracted long enough for Goku to power up. Anyway, after that, Goku obviously wins and ends up blasting Baby into the sun. So that ends that. This was a really weird way to tell the Baby saga, missing most of it. They didn't cover things like Baby's conception or Oob's conception, and it just feels really kind of disjointed. I will take this opportunity to say that although I'm not the biggest fan of the fights in Dragon Ball GT, not by a long shot, I am a big fan of some of the world building. Whatever else GT is, and however many faults it has, it is kind of creative. I enjoy the way the Super Saiyan 4 transformation comes about, even if the explanation might be too loose for some. I like the Sufels, I like the idea of Baby's conception, I don't like Baby's character, but I don't like most of the characters in GT because they're all kind of fucked up and weird and not in a good way. But I don't think you can really get more tiresome than the Buu saga as far as the fights go, so even though I didn't enjoy them, it's not like it was anything new to me. Listen to me talking about GT as a whole when we still have 2 more sagas to go through.
Goku.
Badly beaten by Goku, Baby discarded Vegeta's body and tried to escape. But a fierce Kamehameha blast from Goku sent him hurtling into the sun.
I can't sense Baby's energy anymore. No matter how strong he was, he's not nearly as strong as the sun.
All right! You did it, Grandpa!
Thus, Baby's evil ambitions came to an end. However, the seed of evil can never truly be extinguished.